Chers élèves, chers apprenants, bienvenue sur la plateforme École au Burkina. La plateforme École au Burkina est conçue pour vous permettre de réussir votre année académique. Pour accéder à la plateforme École au Burkina, téléchargez et installez l'application École au Burkina. Allez sur Play Store ou App Store selon votre smartphone. Renseignez dans la barre de recherche École au Burkina, puis téléchargez l'application. Cliquez sur Ouvrir et vous y êtes. Vous n'avez pas de compte? C'est simple. Cliquez sur S'inscrire, puis entrez vos identifiants. Prénom et nom, adresse email, mot de passe, confirmez le mot de passe, choisissez votre niveau d'études et enfin cliquez sur Créer un compte et votre compte École au Burkina est créé. Cela vous donne accès gratuitement au contenu de cours assorti d'exercices d'application. En attendant de nous rejoindre sur la plateforme, suivez toutes nos actualités sur notre page Facebook École au Burkina. École au Burkina, le numérique au service de l'éducation. Nous vous y attendons.
Good morning, dear learners. Good morning, dear students. Welcome to the program École au Burkina. My name is Mrs. Bamogo. I am an English teacher and I am happy this morning to be with you to see the revision of what we have seen, since the beginning of the year until now in English. And the revision have started since the 24th of May. Today is the 27th of May. We are going to deal with the English one. But before we start the revision, I would like to give you some advice, that will be very helpful to you, to succeed to your exam. For example, for a people in troisième, you must focus on grammar lessons. You have to focus to learn the rules, to master the grammar rules in order to succeed. You know the grammar points, we have eight points. So it is not small, it is too much. If you master the grammar, you can, get good marks, at the BEPC exam. Our this morning activity is a revision. We are going to study a text, a text at the form of the BEPC with reading comprehension, with vocabulary points, grammar points, and writing. So we are going to deal with all these here, but don't forget what I told you. You have to master your grammar points, the irregular verbs, and also the vocabulary. It is very important for you to look sometimes, to have a look sometimes in your dictionaries, and catch some little words, that will help you in your reading, your writing, and even reading comprehension. So let's go for the reading. We are going to read the text and the questions so that you will see, what we are going to do. So it is a small text. Let's say that this test, it is a test, at the form of the BEPC exam. I have already told you. We have questions, comprehension questions, in which we have 2 marks for the comprehension, 2 marks for the true or false questions. And after that, we move to the open-minded question, with 4 marks. This is as far as the reading comprehension is concerned. After that, we have in big 2 vocabulary points. They will ask you some questions related to the text, but some vocabulary questions related to the text. After the vocabulary questions with 2 marks, we move to the big 3 with grammar points. The grammar points, in the grammar points you have 6 marks. You see 6 marks, it is not small, it is something. So if you master your grammar lessons, you have 6 marks and you will take all the rest of the marks in vocabulary and comprehension to complete. Okay, after the grammar we have the paragraph writing, 4 marks, where we ask you to show us what you know in English, to express yourself easily, okay, in English as you want. That is the objective of the paragraph writing. It is to let you free to express yourself. So for that we are going to read the text. Okay, I'm going to read the text and the questions, so pay attention and follow. Okay, pay attention to the pronunciation, how words are pronounced. It is very important because we have the oral examination also, where the teacher can ask you to read a passage or the whole text. So pay attention. So here is a test. The title of the text is Adolescents' Early Exposure to Risks. Talk taboo. We live in a dangerous world where kids are exposed to drugs, alcohol, and sex at every younger ages. Some mothers fear that talking about such taboo activities sanctions them. The opposite is true. A 1994 study of 5th and 7th form students in Southern California, for instance, found that children who have honest discussions with their parents are less likely to use drugs and alcohol. Mothers can be especially good at talking to kids about these sensitive topics. First, familiarize yourself with the talks about drugs, drinking, or teen sex. Then, ask your children what they know. Kids as soon as 6 or 7 may have heard stories on the playground or seen something on TV. Point out that you are talking about the problem, so your children understand its dangers, not because you don't trust them. Let them know that you are ready to answer any questions or discuss their worries. Children need to be loved without qualification so that germs of self-esteem can grow. Such unconditional love doesn't mean you set no limits. Setting barriers demonstrates to a child how important he or she is to you. Adapted from Reader's Digest, pp. 38-39. So questions in big 1, we have the comprehension questions. In big A, read the text and write the letter in front of the number corresponding to the correct answer. Do not copy the sentences. Write only the number and the correct letter. 2 marks. Now question number 1. Okay. Mothers avoid talking about taboo topics because A. They are too busy. B. They are not aware of the dangers. C. They think it encourages bad behavior. D. Their children already know everything. So we have to choose the good answer between these 4 sentences. Small 2. The 1994 study found that children who talk with their parents, A. They become more curious about drugs and alcohol. B. They are more likely to ignore their parents. C. They are less likely to use drugs and alcohol. And D. They avoid their parents when asked questions. Question number 3. Children might already know about sensitive topics. A, at 10 years old. B, at 6 or 7 years old. C, at 14 years old. And D, only when they are teenagers. Number 4, unconditional love means A, letting children do whatever they want. B, ignoring children's behavior. C, loving children without setting any rules. D, loving children while still setting limits. So we have finished with the big A of the comprehension. Now we move to big B. So B, read the text again and decide whether the following statements are true or false. Write only the number and true or false in front. 2 marks. The first sentence, only adults are exposed to drugs, alcohol, and sex. True or false? So you choose. Number 2, children who have honest discussion with their parents can be conscious of danger that drugs represent. True or false? Number 3, children aged between 6 and 7 may have heard or seen something about drugs on TV. True or false? Number 4, mothers have an important role to play in the education of their children. So you decide whether the following sentences are true or false. Okay, we are still in the comprehension, the big A, big C now. This is an open-minded question, but still related to the text. Read the text once more and answer the following questions briefly. Write only the answer without copying the questions. So no need to copy the questions, you go directly to answer to the questions. Question number 1. According to the text, what are some of the dangers children are exposed to at an early age? List 2 of them. 1 mark. Question number 2. Based on the text, who can be especially good at talking to children about sensitive topics? 1 mark also. Question number 3. Relying on the text, why should parents set limits for their children? Here we have 2 marks for this last question. So we have finished with the comprehension, the question related to the text. That is the comprehension questions. Now we move to the big 2 with the vocabulary. So vocabulary, small 1. Find in the text words meaning the same in the indicated paragraphs in parentheses as the following. Okay, words meaning the same means that the synonyms, okay. Small b, risky. So you find a word that has the same meaning than risky. B, children. Okay, both are in the paragraph 1. Sentence number 2. Each sentence below expresses some ideas from the text. Complete it with its right ending. It means what? We have sentences here, but the sentences they are not finished. Okay, you have to find the rest in the text to complete the sentence. Okay, small a. Some mothers are afraid of talking. So you go to paragraph 1, you will find the answer to complete the sentence. B. Make sure your children know that you are ready to answer, so you complete. Paragraph 2. That is the end of the vocabulary points, 2 marks. Then we move to big free grammar, 6 marks. The grammar, we have many big points. Big A, put each verb in parentheses into the appropriate tense in the following sentences. 1 mark. Small 1, parents often, the verb between parentheses is talk to their children about important issues. Small 2, yesterday, she, the verb is discuss the dangers of drugs with her son. Big B of the grammar, write the right infinitive forms of the verbs in parentheses in the sentences below. Small 1, it is important, the verb is talk, to children early about risks. Number 2, they made the woman, the verb is have, a conversation with her daughter. Big C of the grammar points, turn the following sentences into reported speech. Number 1, the mother said, I will have a discussion with you tomorrow. Number 2, the child asked, do people drink alcohol here? Big D, still in the grammar, use the appropriate comparative forms, okay, comparative of superiority or superlative of superiority or adjectives in the following sentences. It is to you to see what you are going to use according to the meaning of the sentence, of course. Small a, talking early is, the adjective is effective than waiting too long. Number 2, she is the adjective good, parent I know when I comes to communication. Big E, fill in the gaps with some, any, or no in the sentences below. 1, the children hasn't heard, okay, we complete, stories about drugs at school. There are good ways to approach sensitive topics. So the big F of the grammar point, complete the following sentences with the correct relative pronouns. Who, whom, which, or whose. The small one, the teacher, okay, you choose the relative pronoun to complete, teaches health education, supports parent-child dialogue. Number 2, the program was aired last week, helped many parents. So here is the end of the grammar point. Now we have the big 4 that concerns the paragraph writing, 4 marks. So for the paragraph writing, let me read the context for you and the instruction. Context. Nowadays, many children at their very adolescent ages adopt some bad attitudes that sometimes destroy their lives. The instruction. The instruction is the work they ask you to do, okay? As an adolescent in the class of troisième, what should you do to avoid the dangers of drugs, alcohol, and bad influences? In a paragraph of 50 to 80 words, develop 3 ideas to express yourself and your real-life experiences if possible. So thank you very much, and stay focused on the correction. So I'm going to write the title of the text. Good. Since we have already read the text, we are going to go through it, okay, by starting with the comprehension, the reading comprehension. So big one. Comprehension. Okay, the comprehension. Here we have 3 and the points. So in big A, I'm going to write the instruction. Read the text and write the letter. In front of the number, corresponding to the correct answer. Okay, they say do not copy the sentence, okay? Do not copy the sentence. It is very important to respect the instructions. Do not copy the sentence. Write only the number. Write only the number and the correct letter. And this one is 2 marks. Let me put it in color so that you can see. 2 marks. Good. Since they ask you to just write the letter, the number and the letter, okay, we have 1. Okay, we have 4 answers, okay, and we must choose among these 4 answers. When we take the small 1, mothers avoid talking about taboo topics because A, they are too busy, B, they are not aware of the dangers, C, they think it encourages bad behavior, D, their children already know everything. Okay, so here let's say that the correct answer is C, according to the text. So mothers avoid talking about taboo topics because they think it encourages bad behavior. So 1, we have C, like that. Small 2. Small 2. The 1949 study found that children who talk with their parents. Answer 1. They become more curious about drugs and alcohol. Answer B. They are more likely to ignore their parents. Answer C. They are less likely to use drugs and alcohol. Answer D. They avoid their parents when asked questions. So here, the good question according to the text is C. The 1994 study found that children who talk with their parents are less likely to use drugs and alcohol. So, C again. Small 3. Children might already know about sensitive topics. Answer A, at 10 years old. B, at 14 years old. D, only when they are teenagers. So here, for this third question, the answer is B. So children might already know about sensitive topics at 6 or 7 years old. That is what is said in the text. Always refer yourself to the text. The answer must come from the text. So here we have B. Now, question 4. Unconditional love means letting children do whatever they want. B, ignoring children's behavior. C, loving children without setting any rules. D, loving children while still setting limits. Okay? Here, the answer, according to the text, is D. So, unconditional love means loving children while still setting limits. That is what the text says. Okay, so for this big A for the big one, comprehension, the answers are C, C, B, D. Now we are going to move to the big B to deal with the true or false questions. So let me write the instruction. They say read the text again and decide whether the following statements are true or false. Okay, here also the instruction is very clear. They say write only the number and true or false in front. So write only. The number and true or false. True if the sentence is true, of course, and false when it is false. So we have 2 marks. It means that we have 0.5 for each good answer here. Here also 0.5 for each good answer, so 2 marks. Number 1. Okay, only adults are exposed to drugs, alcohol, and sex, according to the text. Is it true or false? Okay, so it is false, because it is said in the text that children also can be exposed to drugs, alcohol, and bad behaviors. Small 2, true or false? Children who have honest discussion with their parents can be conscious of danger that drugs represent. Okay, that is what the text said. When children discuss with the parents, they come aware of the danger of drugs. So it is true. Good. I can write T, or I can write the full word false or true. Okay. Small 3. Children aged between 6 and 7 may have heard or seen something about drugs on TV. Okay, so according to the text, that is what he said there. The answer is true. In the text, they said that children can have some information about drugs, okay, on television or somewhere else. Number 4, mothers have an important role to play in the education of their children. Okay, in the text they said that mothers are likely, okay, the persons who must talk to their children about the danger of drugs. So it is true. So for these true or false questions, we have false, true, true, true. Okay, to win 2 marks. Very easy. It is not complicated. Let's move now to the big C. But we still stay in the text. Big C of the comprehension. I'm going to write the instruction. Read the text once more. They say read the text. So still go back to the text. Don't answer just like that. Read the text once more. And answer the following questions. Briefly. Okay, it means that you must read the text. Okay, the answer you are going to give here must come from the text. But while answering, be very precise and concise. Be brief, okay? Don't build too long sentences. So the instruction they say, write the answer without copying the question. Okay, so write the answers without copying the questions. Sorry. So no need for us to copy the questions. We are going to answer to them directly. The first question, according to the text, what are some of the dangers children are exposed to at an early age? List 2 of them. So, if you are faced to these kind of questions, don't jump into the question like that. Try to make sentences. Try to reformulate the question, okay, and make correct sentences, paying attention to the grammar points. So, how are we going to answer this question? Number 1. I list 2 dangers children are exposed to. Okay, so the 2 dangers in the text we say that, okay, children or kids are exposed to drugs, alcohol, and sex. But they ask us to give only 2. In the text we have 3, but we must give 2 good answers. But since we are in exercises, we are doing exercises, we are going to list all of them. If not, the instruction asks you to give only 2. So the first one, we have drugs. Okay. We also have alcohol. So we can add sex. Sex is the third danger, but in our question, they didn't ask you to give 3. So that is why I put sex between parentheses. So someone can say drugs and sex. Another person will say alcohol and sex. Another person can say drugs and alcohol. Okay, small 2. The question, based on the text, who can be especially good at talking to children about sensitive topics? Okay, let's go to the text. In the text, it is said that mothers can be especially good at talking to kids about these sensitive topics. So here is the good answer, according to the text, of course. So mothers can be especially good at talking to children about sensitive topics. the small free of the big C, still in the comprehension. Relying on the text, why should parents set limits for their children? Okay, they say according to the text, so let's go to the text again. The last paragraph, when you take the last paragraph, the line 2, such unconditional love doesn't mean you set no limits. Setting barriers demonstrates to a child how important he or she is to you. So the answer is, okay, parents should set limits for their children in order to show them how important they are to them. So parents should set limits to their children in order to show them how important they are to them. Good. So, relying on the text, why should parents set limits for their children? This is the last question. The answer is, parents should set limits to their children in order to show them how important they are to them. We are finished with the big one that concerns the comprehension, the reading comprehension. Now we are going to move to the big 2 with the vocabulary.
Chers élèves, chers apprenants, bienvenue sur la plateforme École au Burkina. La plateforme École au Burkina est conçue pour vous permettre de réussir votre année académique. Pour accéder à la plateforme École au Burkina, téléchargez et installez l'application École au Burkina. Allez sur Play Store ou App Store selon votre smartphone. Renseignez dans la barre de recherche École au Burkina, puis téléchargez l'application. Cliquez sur Ouvrir et vous y êtes. Vous n'avez pas de compte? C'est simple. Cliquez sur S'inscrire, puis entrez vos identifiants. Prénom et nom, adresse email, mot de passe, confirmez le mot de passe, choisissez votre niveau d'études et enfin cliquez sur Créer un compte et votre compte École au Burkina est créé. Cela vous donne accès gratuitement au contenu de cours assorti d'exercices d'application. En attendant de nous rejoindre sur la plateforme, suivez toutes nos actualités sur notre page Facebook École au Burkina. École au Burkina, le numérique au service de l'éducation. Nous vous y attendons.
Okay, so now we are going to move to the big 2 to see the vocabulary points. Okay, before we continue, let me remind you our WhatsApp number, okay, in case you want to have the test. So the number is +226 05 03 28 and 03. So big 2 vocabulary. 1. Let me write the instruction. Find in the text words meaning the same in the indicated paragraph in parentheses as the following. So I'm going to write the instruction. Good. So you can see that you are given some words, okay, and they ask you to look at in the paragraph between parentheses to see a word that has the same meaning, okay, or a synonym of the listed words. So, small a, the first word is risky. Risky. So, in the paragraph 1, the synonym is in the paragraph 1. We will have, when we go to the paragraph 1, we say we live in a dangerous world or risky world. So, risky, we have dangerous. The second word in the small b is children. Children, what is the word that has the same meaning, okay, like children? In the paragraph 1, we have, okay, we live in a dangerous world where kids are exposed. Kids. Donc, so, here we have kids. The synonym of children, we have kids in the paragraph 1. The big 2 vocabulary, small 2. Let's continue here. Each sentence below expresses some ideas from the text. Complete it with its right ending. Let me write the instruction. Each sentence expresses some idea from the text. So complete it with its right ending. Here also we have some small points, small a. Some mothers are afraid that talking okay, we must complete this sentence relying ourselves to the text. So let's go to the text to see what we can find to complete the sentence. So take the paragraph 1. Okay, paragraph 1, line 2. Some mothers fear that talking about such taboo activities sanctions them. So here is the sentence we are going to complete. Some mothers are afraid that talking about such taboo activities sanctions them. Small b, make sure, this is the sentence they give you, make sure your children know that you are ready to answer. Okay, so they ask us to complete according to the text. Let's go back to the text. In paragraph 2, okay, the last line, the one but last line, let them know that you are ready to answer any questions or discuss their worries. So this is the good answer. So that you are ready to answer any question or discuss their worries. So we have just finished with the vocabulary points. We are moving to the big three with the grammar. So let's remind you that the vocabulary, we have 4 marks for the vocabulary. And for the small, not 4 marks, sorry, 2 marks. 2 marks. And for the small one, we have 1 mark. It means that it is 0.5 for each good answer. 0.5. Here also, it is the same thing. 2 marks, 1 mark. Okay, 0.5, 0.5 for each good answer. Now, big free grammar. So, big free grammar. Okay, in this grammar point, we have 6 big points. Okay, so we are going to start with the bigger A. So let me put the instruction. Put each. Put each verb in parentheses. Into the appropriate tense. The appropriate tense in the following sentences. So 1 mark. The whole grammar is 6 marks. Small one. Parents often, the verb is talk to their children about important issues. So, they say put each verb in parentheses into the appropriate tense in the following sentences. Parents often, the verb is talk, simple present. With often, okay, we use the simple present. Parents often talk to their children about important issues. The small 2 of the grammar, the big A of the grammar. Yesterday. She, the verb is discuss. Because we have yesterday here, remember your grammar lesson on the simple past. Yesterday is a time expression we use with the simple past. So we will have discussed. Yesterday she discussed the danger of drugs with her son. Big B, still in the grammar points. Write the right infinitive form of a verb in the parentheses in the sentences below. Write the infinitive form So small b, write the infinitive forms of the verbs in parentheses in the sentences below. 1 mark. Small 1. It is important. The verb between parentheses is talk, so the infinitive form will be to talk to children. It is important to talk to children early about risks. The small 2. They made the women. They made the woman, sorry. They made the woman. The verb is have. They made the woman has a conversation. Sorry, I say has. Have. Okay. They made the woman have a conversation with her daughter. Okay, here have is not conjugated because they ask us to give the infinitive form. The infinitive form, it must be the complete infinitive with to or the incomplete infinitive without the to. So they made the woman have a conversation with her daughter. Big C now. Turn the following sentences into the reported speech. One mark. Number 1, small 1 of the big C. The mother said, the mother said, I will have a discussion with you tomorrow. Remember your grammar lessons about the if clauses, okay? Which said that when the introductory verb is in the simple past, then the speech pronounced in the quotation marks change. And it depends on the tense that will be in the quotation mark. Here we have the simple future. I will have a discussion. So the simple future will become what? Present conditional. The mother said that she would have a discussion, okay, a discussion with you. They say tomorrow. Tomorrow, the adverbs, changes of the adverbs, tomorrow will become the next or the following day. The next or the following day. Small 2 of the big C. The child asked, the child asked, do people drink alcohol here? So reported speech. The child asked if it is a question. Okay, when we have seen the reported speech, they told you that when the speech pronounced is a question, then we use if or whether. Mainly when it is a yes-no question. So the child asked if or whether, okay, people, the verb will change because the introductory verb is in the simple past. So we will have the past participle of drink. So if people drank alcohol, and the here will become there. Big D now. Use the appropriate comparative forms. Okay, in small 1, we have talking early is talking early is the adjective is effective. So we are going to say that talking early is more effective than waiting too long. E, big E. Fill the gaps with some, any, or no. Some, any, or no. Small 1. We must complete with some, any, or no. The children hasn't heard any story. Any stories about drugs at school. Small 2, there are, let's say, we can say some good ways, or if there are not, we are going to say no good ways, okay, to approach sensitive topics. Big E, big F now. They ask us to complete with the correct relative pronoun. Okay, in small 1, the teacher, okay, the pronouns we have who, whom, which, or whose. So we are going to choose 1, the teacher who. Okay, teaches health education, supports parents, child dialogue. The number 2, the program which was aired, okay, so the program which was aired last week helped many parents. So here also we have 1 point or 1 mark, 0.5 for each of them. The same thing here. 1 mark, 0.5. D also, we have 1 mark, 0.5. Okay. So,
chers élèves, chers apprenants, bienvenue sur la plateforme École au Burkina. La plateforme École au Burkina est conçue pour vous permettre de réussir votre année académique. Pour accéder à la plateforme École au Burkina, téléchargez et installez l'application École au Burkina. Allez sur Play Store ou App Store selon votre smartphone. Renseignez dans la barre de recherche École au Burkina, puis téléchargez l'application. Cliquez sur Ouvrir et vous y êtes. Vous n'avez pas de compte? C'est simple. Cliquez sur S'inscrire, puis entrez vos identifiants. Prénom et nom, adresse email, mot de passe, confirmez le mot de passe, choisissez votre niveau d'études et enfin cliquez sur Créer un compte et votre compte École au Burkina est créé. Cela vous donne accès gratuitement au contenu de cours assorti d'exercices d'application. En attendant de nous rejoindre sur la plateforme, suivez toutes nos actualités sur notre page Facebook École au Burkina. École au Burkina, le numérique au service de l'éducation. Nous vous y attendons.
Okay, so paragraph writing. I'm going to read again one more time the context and the instructions. The context. Nowadays, many children at their very adolescent ages adopt some bad attitudes that sometimes destroy their lives. Okay? The instruction. As an adolescent in the class of troisième, what should you do to avoid the danger of drugs, alcohol, and bad influences? In a paragraph of 50 to 80 words, develop 3 ideas to express yourself and your real life experiences if possible. What does it mean here? Okay, we can see around you, okay, or we sometimes hear people speaking about the danger of drugs, alcohol, or bad influences, okay? And here they ask you to give free ideas in order to avoid these dangers, okay, or the bad ideas. You can inspire yourself on your own experience. Maybe you have already experienced this situation, or you have already seen a friend that lived the same situation, so you explain it in good ideas, paying attention to the grammar. Use short sentences, don't complicate your writing. Short sentences to express yourself clearly. So it is the end of our presentation. Thank you for paying attention, and don't forget about the WhatsApp number we gave you for any worries you will have. Don't hesitate to contact us on the WhatsApp number to have the exercise, okay, we have done today, and for other questions. Thank you very much. Goodbye. See you next time.